I'm JD Christensen, and I'm co-founder and president of Outdoor Access. And Outdoor Access is Airbnb for hunting and outdoor recreation. There are over 17 million hunters in the United States, and in survey after survey, when they're asked, what's the one thing that keeps you from pursuing your passion? What's the biggest problem you face? It's always the answer, access to land. And there's also 1.5 billion acres of private land just in the United States. And the majority of that land has a utilization rate of 0. That means that most landowners in the United States make absolutely no revenue off of their most precious resource. And then in 2019, people, consumers, what we want to do is we want to interact with our brands in a way that's about authentic experiences. And so Outdoor Access, we connect all those things together. And what we do is we have our membership model. They join and they can rent land by the day for activities like hunting, fishing, camping, drone fly, relic hunting, bird watching, mountain biking. I could go on and on. And landowners can list their property with us, knowing they have total control over their schedule, the activities. Everything is controlled in the platform, and they have the peace of mind to know that everything's managed by us, and everybody's covered by $1 million liability insurance policy. Now, if you go to our website or our app, you'll see that just like you would expect, like on Airbnb, or if you were to get a hotel for the night, you could go to our website and see what properties are available. I can set parameters, so a little hard to see here, but if you look at the screen, I can actually say, okay, I want to go hunting this weekend, so I pick a filter for hunting. And then it will show me all the places that I can go hunting. We have hundreds of these places all over the country. Now, often for us, location is really important. So our members want to know, where can I go that's nearby? They can use their GPS, or they can type in a location. So I've typed in Washington, D.C., and I can see that I have dozens of places that I can go hunting within an hour's drive of D.C. So for us, that's really important. Proximity matters. Now, if I want to dive into one of our listings, this is a listing called Sinclair's Mill. It's about 20 minutes outside of DC. It offers kayaking, fishing, camping, relic hunting. And you can see the pictures are beautiful. The landowner provides a lot of detail. It's a historical property. And you can see we have an interactive map, so you can see the property boundaries, where we would park, if you need to put a hunt stand in, where the docks are. And just like you would expect on a website where you're booking by the day, you pick the day you want to go, and on the average price is about $30 per day to get exclusive access to these beautiful properties. Use your credit card on file, book the property, we then connect you with the landowner, and the rest is handled by the platform, from the payment processing all the way through check-in, check-out when you're on the property. Now, we make money in 3 ways. First, as you would expect, we take a cut of each reservation. And you can see the chart on the right shows us our revenue, net revenue, through the end of this year. So 2019 is projected, and we take on average about a 10% cut of each reservation. We also take a $5 daily service fee per guest. And this is where we're a little bit different than most marketplaces. Most marketplaces end here, and they're limited by that cut of each reservation that they take. We also have recurring revenue in the form of our $100 annual membership model. And you can see that really allows us to see recurring revenue that grows exponentially year on year. And so we have line of sight on $1 million in net revenue, in part from this membership model. But the membership also does something else. It creates a community. When you're a member of something, you're part of something bigger, something that has a set of shared values. And so that also allows us in the future to see lots of other opportunities for revenue. So for instance, on the landowner side, and they're part of our community, once they've made some money with Outdoor Access in their first year, they almost always come back and say, what else can I do? And we talk to them about agriculture, we talk to them about forestry, we talk to them about conservation easements. And for our members, that data about where they go, when they go, and what they're passionate about, we can anonymize that, aggregate it, and then share that with our partners who can better understand their customers and their needs. And then finally, and this is something we started last year, very successful, was building curated experiences where not only were our members renting property for themselves and for their friends, we're bringing that membership community together and building these curated experiences where dozens of our members would be going on activities together as a collective community to build and grow that community. Now, for us as a company, it's all about traction. How are we growing? What are we doing to build our membership? Because that's the biggest moat we have, is that ability to grow the supply and the demand for what we offer. And so since we launched a little over 2 years ago, we have signed up over 3,600 members. We have over 500 active listings in the platform. And today, as of today, we've had a little over 12,500 days booked in the system. And so we're building the supply, we're building the demand, but most importantly, those two pieces are connecting in a way that's driving engagement. And that really is showing itself in the way that our members use the platform. In the first year, when a member joins, typically they're spending about $85 in their first year using our platform. In year 2, that's going to about $150. And then in year 3, that's driving up to $250. So in each subsequent year, we're finding that our members not only are using us more, but they're using us in a way where they're driving in more guests, and they're using us for more days, and they're using us for higher end activities. So as we see the cohorts grow, we see their engagement grows over time. And what that really means is in markets where we started 2 years ago, like Richmond, Virginia, and in Washington, D.C., and in the Hampton Roads, those are now profitable markets at the end of 2018. So we've been able to make those markets profitable. So looking ahead, how are we rolling out our platform? So again, we think about markets in terms of urban areas. So as I mentioned, D.C. would be a market for us. But we also think about states, because that's where licensure for hunting and fishing happens, is at a state level. So in 2018, we've been in 3 states, Virginia, North Carolina, and Maryland. And this year, we're growing into 3 more states and 9 more markets. And these are critical for us this year. South Carolina is really for us a road to the rest of the South. It's the gateway that we need to get to Georgia, to Louisiana, to Florida. Pennsylvania and Texas, however, are critical states for us because they represent per capita the largest hunting and fishing markets in the country. We really believe, and we have conviction around this belief, that if we're successful in these markets, which we will be, that we can be successful anywhere. And then in 2020, we'll be taking the success we've seen in those 6 states and connecting the dots in the Midwest and the rest of the South. And then in 2021, east of the Continental Divide will have grown from over 3,000 members to over 50,000 members and tens of thousands of properties. So we see huge opportunities for us in this space. Thanks for the kind words, Dan, about Buck and I, and we're really proud of our accomplishments. But I think the thing that we're even more proud of is our ability to build teams. And that's something that I've had success with as an entrepreneur. And for me, one of the really remarkable things about this business, because it's a mission-driven business, is we're able to attract and retain talent who will work for us for a pittance because they believe in the mission of the company and they have a passion around what we're doing. And so we have a team in land management, in technology, and in marketing that is bar none, and that will allow us to drive to success not only this year, but in the years ahead. So competition is part of what we're thinking about, but I do want to sort of characterize our competition for the most part as old wine, new bottle. What we're typically seeing in the marketplace is folks coming in and taking the existing incumbent product, like a land lease or an outfitter experience or a hunt club experience, and wrapping that into a website. And what we believe we're doing is building a new capability and taking a bundled asset that is land and unbundling it. And I really think about technology. Most successful startups have taken something and unbundled it or bundled it. And in our case, we're doing both. We're taking that asset and unbundling it and making it available by the day, but then rebundling it together so not only can you go to that one property, Sinclair Mill, and have an amazing experience with your family and friends, but I can go to hundreds of other places and have access to all these places as a member of what we're offering. So, we're looking at 2019, we've got big plans, and we're launching the year with a $2 million capital offering. And that $2 million raise is going to really help us in 4 ways. First, it's going to help us build out our technology platform even further. We've got got an amazing foundation. Everything is built into the platform, from background check to payment processing to check in, check out. But we want even more. We want to drive more of that community into the platform, and we want to give our members even more capabilities when they're in the field and when they're together to be using Outdoor Access. As we go into these 9 new markets, marketing will be key. We do believe that we need to go out and seek out the supply and demand and reach them in channels that are effective, but also are going to get us to scale. And that's going to require resources. As I mentioned, Buck and I really believe in team building. But for us, that's not about headcount. That's about operational excellence. How do we build a team that is going to let us in 5 years without having to go to a huge number of staff and build a capability that we can go to scale? And then finally, something that I think is often overlooked by startups is having dry powder set aside so that when something is working, when you've got lightning in the bottle, when you found a market or an opportunity that is showing explosive growth, that you can put more fuel on the fire right then and there to even grow it further. So having that ability to see opportunistic growth is key. So we're excited about the fundraising opportunity and growing the platform over the next 2 years. This will get us, as I mentioned, to that 50,000 member mark, but also to profitability as a business. Now, ultimately, for Buck and I, the thing that gets us most excited about the business and our team and our members and our landowners is our mission, which I love. It's very simple. It's 3 words: unlocking the outdoors. And unlocking the outdoors for our landowners means that for the first time, for many of them, they have an opportunity to see revenue on their land, but also to share it with others who've never had the opportunity before. And for our members, unlocking the outdoors is about the opportunity to, in solitude or with friends or with family, experience nature in an authentic and unique way. So we're just thrilled to be part of the Stadia family and to have you with us on this journey, and look forward to what's in store for 2019. Thank you so much.